Hello class, we're about to start Unit 4 Decimals. Section A, Adding and Subtracting Decimals. To add or subtract decimals, just line up the decimal points. You can fill in extra zeros to even up the numbers as needed. So we had 2.54 plus 14.6. So what I would like to do is, I would like to take the larger number, which is 14.6, and then add the smaller number, 2.54. Now we'll add a 0 here as a placeholder, so we will have just as many digits behind the decimal point. So 0 plus 4 is 4, 6 plus 5 is 11, we would carry our 1, bring down our decimal. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 2 is 7, and we will bring down our 1. So our final answer is 17.14. Now we go to the second problem. We had 8 minus 3.27. So we would take 8 minus 3.27. We will put a decimal behind the 8 and line it up with the decimal with the 3.27 and add 2 zeros. Now we have to subtract. We cannot subtract 7 from 0. So what we have to do is go until we get to a digit that's not 0 and borrow 1 from it, which would be this 8. So now this 0 would become a 10. But then we will borrow 1 from that to make it a 9, and this last number would become 10. 10 minus 7 is 3, 9 minus 2 is 7, we will bring down our decimal. 7 minus 3 is 4. So our final answer is 4.73. Now we scroll to multiplying decimals. It says to multiply decimals, first multiply while ignoring the decimal points. Then place the decimal point in the final answer so that the number of decimal places in the product is equal to the sum of the numbers of decimal places in the factors. Now, let's do this here. This is really 1.2 times 0.3. So what this is saying is here, let's first get rid of the decimal. 1.2 would become 12 and 0.3 would become 3. 3 times 2 is 6, and 3 times 1 is 3. So we have 36 here. Now we have to go back to the original problem and count how many digits we have behind the decimal. We have 1 here and 1 here, so that's a total of 2. So our final answer must have 2 digits behind the decimal. So it'll be 0.36 is the final answer. Now we go here, we add 0.2 to the third power. That's 0.2 times 0.2 times 0.2. Now, if we drop the decimals, that would be 2 times 2 times 2. We know that 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. But we have to go back here and count how many digits we have behind the decimal. We have 1, 2, 3 digits behind the decimal. So our final answer must have 3 digits behind the decimal. So it'll be 0.008, and that will be our final answer. Now, we scroll down further. We have 0.116 times 0.03. Now we could just drop the decimals here, and it'll be 116 times 3. 3 times 6 is 18. Bring down your 8, carry your 1. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. And 3 times 1 is 3. Now we have 348. We count how many digits we have behind a decimal. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our final answer must have 5 digits behind the decimal. So we need to add 2 digits in the front here. And we have our decimal. So it'll be 0.00348. Now we come here, it says put the decimal in the right place. Now these digits are correct, so all we have to do is put the decimal in the right place. We have 2 digits here, 2 digits here, so that'll be a total of 4 digits we need behind the decimal. So it'll be 25.91668. So that will be our final answer. Now we come here to section C, dividing decimals. It says here to divide decimals, first move the decimal points and both numbers to the right until the divisor becomes a whole number. Then divide, keeping the decimal point in the answer lined up with the decimal point in the dividend. So let's put this in practice. We have 0.024 divided by 0.6. So we would take 0.6 and we would take it into 0.024. Now the first thing is we cannot divide with a decimal being on the outside here. So we would need to move this decimal one place to the right, and we will move this decimal one place to the right, because what we do on the outside we must do on the inside. So this will end up being 6 into 0.24. So now we bring up our decimal. Now we ask ourselves, 6 goes into 0 0 times, 6 goes into 2 0 times, but 6 goes into 24 4 times. 4 times 6 is 24, and we have no remainder. So our final answer is 0.04. Now we go here to the next problem. Same thing. We would take 0.6 into 0.24. And we have to move this decimal one place to the right, move this decimal one place to the right. So we will have 6 into 2.4. We'll bring up our decimal. 6 goes into 2 0 times. 6 goes into 24 4 times. 4 times 6 is 24. And we have no remainder. So our final answer is 0.4. Now, we go to the next problem. We have 2.4 divided by 0.6. So we would take 0.6 into 2.4. Now we have to move this decimal one place to the right, move this decimal one place to the right. So it'll be 6 into 24. Now we don't need to include the decimal unless we need to go past this 24. 6 goes into 24 4 times, and we have no remainder. So our final answer is 4. Now we would take 24 divided by 0.6, so we would take 0.6 into 24. We have to move this decimal one place to the right. Now it's assumed to be a decimal here, so we have to move that decimal one place to the right. So it'll be 6 into 240. 6 goes into 24 4 times. 6 goes into 0 0 times, and we have no remainder. So our final answer here is 40. Now we scroll down. Well, first, let's go back and read this note. It says, a note about decimal division. While you should understand the decimal placement in the division process, for large division problems, we will use a calculator as needed. Okay, now, we go down here to section D. Ann's mechanical pencil uses 1 millimeter of lead, while Beth's uses 0.7 millimeters of lead. How much wider is the lead in Ann's mechanical pencil? So this is a subtraction problem. We would take 1 minus 0.7. Now we'll bring a decimal here to line up and bring the 0. And they're both measured in millimeters. We cannot subtract 7 from 0, so we'll borrow 1 from this 1 and make that 0, and the 0 will become 10. 10 minus 7 is 3. Bring down our decimal, and we'll bring down our 0. It'll be 0.3 millimeters. And that is the final answer. Okay, now it says here, find the average price of gasoline for the month shown below. Okay, so now we have Week 1, we had $3.45. Week 2, $3.74. Week 3, $3.83. And week 4, $3.79. Now to find the average, the first thing we must do is add all these numbers together. And we know these are all dollars. So now we will add these numbers together. 5 and 4 is 9, plus 3 is 12, plus 9 is 21. So we'll bring down our 1, carry our 2. 2 and 4 is 6, plus 7 is 13, plus 8 is 21, plus 7 is 28. So we'll bring down our decimal, carry our 2. 2 and 3 is 5, plus 3 is 8, plus 3 is 11, plus 3 is 14. So we have $14.81. Now, what we need to do is we need to take the average. Now, we would have to divide this by 4. So we would take 4 into $14.81. We'll bring up our decimal. 4 goes into 14 3 times. 14 minus 12 is 2. Bring down our 8. 4 goes into 28 7 times. And you notice we brought our decimal up here. 7 times 4 is 28. And that's 0. So we bring down our 1. 4 goes into 1 0 times. And what we would need to do next is this here. We would need to go one more decimal place, because remember our money is measured with 2 decimal places. So we need to know if we're going to round up or keep this 0 the same. So we'll bring this 0 down. 4 goes into 10 twice. 2 times 4 is 8. And 10 minus 8 is 2. So we notice here that the number next to the 0 is between 0 to 4, so it'll stay at $3.70. So $3.70 would be the average. Now, we scroll down here to number 3. It says, find the area and perimeter of the rectangle shown below. So the area of a rectangle is the length times the width. The perimeter is equal to 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. You really don't need the parentheses here. Okay, so we'll take the area is equal to the length is 3.1 and the width is 0.7. So we will multiply this. We could take 31 times 7. We could drop those decimals. 7 times 1 is 7 and 7 times 3 is 21. So we count how many digits we have behind the decimal here. We have 2, so it'll be 2.17. So the area is 2.17 square feet, or feet squared. And that would be the answer for the area. Now we want to work on a perimeter. The perimeter is equal to 2 times the length is 3.1, plus 2 times the width is 0.7. So now, we will have 2 times 3.1. We know that would give us 6.2. Because 2 times 1 is 2 and 2 times 3 is 6. And we have 1 digit behind the decimal. So it'll be 6.2. Plus 0.7. Now, I could go off to the side here and drop the decimal. And that will give us 7 times 2, which is 14. And we have 1 digit behind the decimal, so that would be 1.4. So now we will add these together. That will give us 7.6 feet. And that is the perimeter. And that is it.